himself on my staff. We had the first year when we started our program, we had a group of young at the institution. We're 4-15. First game we had was against Florida State, lost by 51. Now they had a program that had been running a while. The next year we split with them. Ralph tell you real quick, he never lost to Florida State by 50 points. So Ralph walked up to me, he said, you need an assistant coach, don't you? I said, yeah, that's me. I said, okay, welcome aboard. Ralph always did things like that. He was thinking of one-liners now. But as my roommate, let me tell you how he got to be my roommate. My starter wife wasn't at the house anymore. I know what the starter wife is. That's your first wife that don't work. So after that, you figure out how to family. That was my starter wife. My current wife tell you I ain't had no starter wife. It was her all the time. Okay? So I saw y'all. Y'all didn't catch that about the starter wife. But I get a phone call. Ralph said, "Are you at the house by yourself now, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah." So I'm thinking I'm gonna get a little sympathy, from my dear brother. He said, "Good. I'm bringing my stuff. I'm moving in tomorrow." That's how we were roommates. If you look inside your program, there's a picture, but a much younger picture, but you probably don't recognize it. Ralph and I sitting there, it was in the Tallahassee Democrat. And his comment was, "I'm glad that you looking up to me asking for instructions rather than me asking you for instructions." Ralph had in the picture up there, he had a Kango. He wore that Kango all the time. He would anger me. We would get on the bus. We'd be in Gator parking lot, getting ready to go on, people complain about bus rides, they longer than 8 hours now, but we haven't been on the bus 12 hours, played 3 games in 4 days, went all 3, come back. But the story, Ralph would get on there, he'd pull that Kango down over his head. And in 30 seconds, he was dead sleeping. Y'all know how hard it is to sleep like that? He would be asleep before we leave the parking lot. His wife always said, you're a loyal assistant coach. He was loyal. What Ralph would say he was going to do, he was going to do. And he did it to the best of his ability. And if that wasn't good enough, he told you that was it. That's all I'm going to do. I ain't doing no more. I would say, did y'all say Ralph G. Coleman Jr.? G. What's the G stand for? Good looking. Oh, he meant that. When I was in the boost office, he came in there and wondered why he didn't have the G in his name. I had to tell the staff it stood for good looking. Don't ask him. He said he was walking down. He was cool. Ralph, I did. This was all the girls who played for me. Ralph said, he'd pull his britches up and he'd look at himself in the mirror. He had a real love affair going with himself. And so I'm playing sleep because I want to see how far this goes now. And he's like, whoa. He was a good looking man. I'm like, Ralph, you said I couldn't say nothing. But we had those stories. Those are some of the stories as roommates and traveling that I could share with y'all. As the people in front of me said, there's always some stories that go on, and we in Reverend Holmes Church, so we can't say so much. Ralph, he wanted a celebration. He would be very, very happy. He's smiling right now. And all this love is in here for Ralph G. Good looking Coleman. Thank you.
The guy coming up after me said, I got to follow that. That was a celebration for Ralph G. Coleman. He had wanted it. I believe Ralph wrote how he wanted it to be. And The celebration at Bethel Baptist Church was standing room only. They brought chairs down the aisles. It was an overflow crowd. A lot of A&M people were there. A lot of orange and green. And it was how he wanted it to be, which was he wanted a celebration, and he didn't want people sad. He didn't want it to be sad, and it wasn't. He got his wish.
Amen. Amen. Sounds like some hellified stories, Coach.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, and people seemed to enjoy hearing them. And somebody sent that clip to me. Wow. So, Miss B, you got to unmute yourself if you're gonna start the show.
Yes. Well, Ralph Coleman was a character. That's all. He will be missed, because I remember I was doing something I was supposed to be doing at the stadium one day, and he walked up on me and he looked at me. He said, "Coach Clay ain't gonna get you. You know that's wrong." And I just looked, and he just laughed and walked away. And, you know, that he was a character. So he will truly be missed.
His laugh. I can hear his laugh now, especially when they telling you that. I can hear it. I mean, I can almost see him laughing. And saying, Coach Clay's not gonna like that. And then walking off, I can see it. Oh my goodness.
That definitely was him. So, well, I would like to welcome everyone to our Insights Mick and Rick show. It's football season, high school, college, and the NFL. But before we get started, let me introduce you to our cast of characters. We have Rick the reporter and the coach, Mickey Clayton. But
and you are who?
I think my name is Miss B today. I don't know. It's been one of those days. So I'll just be glad when I win a bet. So
come. You might as well leave it alone.
And
let it go.
And that's getting so old.
Let it go because you're not going anywhere. This is you're home now. You might as well unpack, take off your shoes, and let's roll.
No.
Yeah, you're pretty accurate there. You know, every show she say the same doggone thing. She's so original.
INSiiGHTS now has its own Roku channel. INSiiGHTS itself is a dream maker, providing a platform for content creators. Go with INSiiGHTS Roku channel into 91 million homes. We are strengthening our programs that will continue to educate, entertain, and enlighten our viewers. We will still feature youth sports, Mick and Rick, INSiiGHTS Magazine, Remember the Legends, and much more. Stay tuned for our creative content. Appreciate your support.
So tell me something good, Ms. B.
Well, you know, Urban Myers might be, Nebraska's next coach. Exactly.
You know, I heard that. I heard the rumors. We're on Urban Watch. Why?
Because Urban has a good publicist.
He's got a good something. He's got a good
he
something.
Has a good publicist.
Jeez, I need to try to hire that dude then, or the
Exactly.
lady, because this dude gets more chances than well, I'm not gonna say that. Never mind.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey,
Oh,
Thank
don't bite your tongue now.
hey, no. That's gonna be on Insights After Dark. What I was about to say.
You can say insights after dark.
Yeah. Yes,
I,
yes,
I,
yes.
I, I like that.
We
I
gonna keep
like
it. We
that.
gonna keep it classy today. We gonna keep it classy today.
Okay, like that shirt, man.
Okay, good.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your shirt as well. That's a little smooth there. I like
And,
it.
and
Yeah.
in red too.
It's just something about
Okay,
that
y'all.
color. It's just something about that color. You know what I'm saying? Mm.
There y'all go.
You
There
love it.
y'all go.
You love it. And if you don't love it, you gonna learn to love it.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Rick.
Lord. Rick grown today.
Yeah,
But
until Dr. Miller come on.
okay, yes.
Yeah.
But last week we had you had the Pick'em crew on. How, who's tell me Sports Diva is winning? Who's winning?
Do you really think that the sports people is winning? Do you really believe that sports diva is winning?
I really don't know because I didn't check But what are the standings?
Uh, you really want to know?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Well, leading us with 11 correct picks, Kevin, Mr. Cleveland Cavalier.
Mm.
Wow.
Then tied behind him, 2 points behind him, is Rick the reporter and the coach.
Fair coach.
Okay.
One behind that is a log jam between Bad Mofus,
Shut your mouth.
talking about Shaft, Corey's Picks,
CeeLo.
Sports Diva,
She's close.
Okay.
and Lamp Daddy. The winner from last year, he 3 off the pace. Florida Hot Boy
Okay.
is about to get buried. He about to get burnt. I guess he's still out there in that swimming pool trying to figure out who his picks are.
Okay.
He over there in the pool, and we saw him get lost in the jungle behind him. So it's no telling where he is or what happened to him.
One of them alligators got him.
One of those alligators could have got him. But the one thing we don't need is for Todd to win again. Mr. Dallas Cowboy. He probably would have, he probably really upset after the Cowboys Zach got hurt. I'm sure that kind of took a little air out of it.
Yeah.
It took a lot. It took a little air out of a lot of people.
I'm sure we're not going to hear from Todd for at least 4 weeks.
You say at least 4 weeks.
At least 4 weeks while he's there crying. But look, Todd, I know you're listening. I know you're watching. The season is not over yet. It's just week 1. You got 16 more losses. 16 more games to go, brother.
Well,
we right there with you.
But Jerry Jones said they're gonna be okay. But the story is they talking about Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
I
also heard there's been speculation of them trying to maybe trade for Jimmy Garoppolo or Mason Randolph or Rudolph, the guy in Pittsburgh. Randolph.
Well, I don't know that they can afford Garoppolo. That's
No.
how we ended up with Cooper because they were They were about to be in salary cap hell.
Yeah, they just gonna struggle with Cooper Rush for. I mean, they're gonna have to just roll with Cooper Rush for the time period.
Yeah, that
Well,
might be rough for him.
well, Kaepernick will fit in. I think with the Cowboys, they just need to give him a chance.
You know,
Okay.
Speaking of chances, you hear Chad Johnson telling the Bengals to he'll come play with them for free until T Higgins gets back to 100%. He in great shape. That's his theory.
Well, that's what he says.
I mean, Ocho Cinco, he says a lot of things, and he was a heck of a receiver. Don't get me wrong. He a heck of an athlete. I think he got a little workout with the soccer team, one of those major soccer teams over the ocean. And but I mean, football. This is a different life, and he's been away from the game for a while. And that also worries me about Cap as well. They've been away from the game for a long time, and to think they're just going to come back, yeah, I worry about that. I don't think so, but that's just me.
Didn't you just say something about Todd Lampley? He gonna send me a whole bunch of texts, and he starts off his conversation with, Mick, I know this is too late for the show, but I wanted to run this by you. That
That's your boy. That's you and KC's boy. That's y'all boy.
I'm
That's
like,
y'all boy.
And he a Kappa too.
What?
no.
What?
And he a
What?
Kappa too.
She done stepped out there too far. She can't go right for going wrong.
Okay.
Can't go right for going wrong. All right. Hey, gathering hits, moving like a bullet, supporting and pushing this show. The fastest rising show.
Wow. I can believe that.
Say you could believe that?
I can believe that. Because he is, what is it? The Almighty Joe Bullet.
Go to our Insights YouTube channel. It's up there. You can pull it up, or Insights Roku. It's on either one of them. You could get some information about Joe and learn some things about him that you didn't know before. That's what everybody tells us.
Okay.
The WNBA is in its 25th season, and there are lots of players whose success paved the way to the game we are seeing today. But in today's Remembering the Legends, we shine the spotlight on one of the most decorated players in the history of women's basketball. Today, we pay homage to Sheryl Swoopes. Born March 25th, 1971, Swoopes picked up the game of basketball from her brothers, who treated her like any other player. Those hard knocks paid dividends for the woman who was called the female Michael Jordan. and Swoops was the first woman basketball player that Nike named a shoe after. No, Mars, it's not the shoes. She had game and lots of it. While in junior college, Swoops was named Junior College Player of the Year in 1991, and after transferring to Texas Tech, she was named National Player of the Year in 1993 and led the Lady Raiders to a national championship where she will pour in an NCAA title game record 47 points. From there, the legend would just continue to grow. The first ever pick for the WNBA by the Houston Comets, Swoops helped the Comets to 4 WNBA championships. In 2000, she was named the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, a double feat she would accomplish again in 2002. She was named Defensive Player of the Year again in 2003 after leading the league in steals. And in 2005, Swoops was the first player to be named league MVP 3 times. Swoops retired following the 2011 season as a 5-time All-WNBA first-team selection. She won 3 Olympic gold medals as a part of USA women's basketball and was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 2016. Even more than her personal accomplishments, Swoops is still giving back, hosting the free Swoops Hoops Elite Basketball Camp this year. Women's basketball was around before Sheryl Swoops, and she wasn't alone in launching the WNBA. But you cannot write the league history without a chapter on Swoops, who simply made the game better. That is why she is a legend.
Okay,
Swoops.
Rick. Rick,
Swoops.
what made you pick Sheryl Swoops?
I was watching the WNBA and got inspired. I've been following the playoffs ever since the first round, and I just loved it. And they were mentioning just the history of the game, and I think people have forgotten about Cheryl. And so I said, hey, let's just remind a few people. And I still don't think people know how good she actually was, because that woman was amazing. I mean, hell, Nike gave a shoe to her. I mean, they're not going to give you a shoe just because you're Rick Brown, and I've asked, but she's heck of a player. Heck of a player.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I remember that's why a lot of people started watching the WNBA because of her. Yeah, they had Lisa Leslie was supposed to be the glamour girl, but Cheryl played ball. So, among some other.
Yeah, I mean, that Comets team was stacked. I mean, from her, Tina, not Tina Turner, Cooper,
Charles.
Yeah, Tina Charles, Cooper, who's now coaching in the SWAC. That team was just stacked, and she did more than hold her own. I mean, she did whatever the team needed her to do. If they needed her to score, she could score. If the team needed her to shut down somebody, okay, I'll play defense this time. Go do your thing, Coop. She was bad. She was bad. And then 47 points in the finals of NCAA finals. 47. Go ahead, girl.
That is truly. Go ahead, girl. You got game. That is truly. She's all of that.
She was.
She's all of that. So, but I'm gonna jump back to a little bit of college football. I'm gonna talk about my Gators. My Gators lost to Kentucky, and Kentucky had gator tail for dinner as their I know as their post game meal. Hey,
The
what can I say? But that
Gators.
was a good one though.
I watched.
That was
I
a good.
watched the second half of that game, and I was surprised of was how AR-15 was just like another body. The quarterback, Anthony Richardson.
Hmm.
Just he wasn't as spectacular as he was the first game of the season. He was almost non-existent in this game, and maybe it was Kentucky's defense. I mean, they got Mark Swoops as their head coach, who's a defensive guy. But
Hmm.
I was just surprised at his performance. I was expecting better of him. I thought he had overcome the inconsistencies of last season. Obviously, he hasn't yet, but give Kentucky credit as well.
Well,
Yeah.
certain coaches prepare better when they have some game footage to break you down,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I'm sure that has something to do about it.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agreed.
That's true. That's true. And then Texas A&M riled up Appalachian State. They riled them up because one of the Texas A&M football players made a comment about you know he said he hopes that the team will be able to learn. Half the team couldn't read the names on the back of their jerseys, let alone a map. I hope they're able to something about googling it to find where Texas A&M was at, and they came back and whooped them 17-14.
Sure
And we
did.
know, yeah, and I feel bad for Miami who plays them in the Cotton Bowl this Saturday. They're gonna take it out on Miami. They might not necessarily beat Miami, but they're gonna take it out on Miami. So it should be a good game.
You know,
It should be a good game.
I was thinking that maybe they overlooked App State to
Yeah.
prepare for Miami. But if they would have seen what App State did the week before against a Power Five team and came this close of winning two in a row against Power Five schools, they wouldn't have done that.
But Rick, they saw film on that, and the coaches, I guarantee you, Jimbo and them didn't take them light.
Oh, they
But the
did.
guys, that's not us. They won't do that to us. And I've been in those film sessions when you try to show them the film of how good somebody is, and they're not really trying to hear that.
Mm.
I think Jimbo's words that they will listen a lot better now. After that happens, after you get your butt beat, you got a different attitude from the coach or your team. They listen a little better. That's why most coaches will tell you, I don't want to lose a close game. Blow me out. Because now I get their attention when I get back in practice. They're going to listen to what I have to say.
Okay.
Indeed.
Jimbo might need to do like he did at Florida State. He had his Florida State playing. He used to like stay off social media, stay off this. He'd have them being quiet.
Mm. Different era now, though, Ms. B. I don't. Even if he did say that, I don't know if he'll be able to manage that. Is because social media is that generation's love. That's all they do. That's all they
Yeah.
do.
Plus, yeah, I agree.
Hey,
But
Dr. Miller,
hey,
thank
Doc.
you.
Hey, Dr. Miller.
Hey, Miss B and Rick, I'm glad you're on, Dr. Miller. Certain somebody whose name we won't call was very vocal earlier, but they will be silent, I'm sure, from now on. And Todd Lampley has checked in. He said, by the way, he stands by his Dallas Cowboy prediction You remember what the prediction was?
It was something stupid, wasn't it? Wasn't it like 14-3 or something like that? 13-4, 14-3.
He's saying that he said 3-13.
Oh well, I'll stand by that prediction as well.
Okay, but how many games do they play this season?
17.
17.
Okay. Cowboys only playing 16.
Yeah, well, you know,
The Cowboys only playing 16.
that's it.
Rick,
I'm sure Jerry knows. Yes.
Coach just happy because the Browns pulled off a miracle. I'm sorry.
Miracle.
Now, you can be deleted from the broadcast. You do know mid sentence. You can be deleted now. Mid sentence.
Okay.
No. But that's what she wants. No. No.
Yeah, we will see.
That was good though. That was a good game. I mean, I was definitely impressed, and I should have been, because Cleveland. Now, Coach, did y'all make the playoffs last year?
We did not. Year before last.
It was the year before last. But y'all were there for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Your defense has always been tight. You know, what I was concerned about this year was offensively, and especially especially at the wide receiver, quarterback and wide receivers. But you got some studs at running back that if you commit to that, shoot, the defense would be all right.
Well, you just get people who try to be too smart. You know, we can run the ball down your throat, but I'm not going to run it. I'm going to catch you off guard and try to throw, even though you can't throw.
I hate people like that.
A lot of times you don't want to do the obvious, so you do the things that don't make sense.
We know that they know that we're going to run the ball, but because they know we're going to throw the ball instead of running it and confuse them all and confuse ourselves.
Exactly.
Okay. What about Seattle?
Okay.
Seattle in versus Denver on Monday night. Great. Geno Smith. I thought he was back in West Virginia again. The way he was just bing, 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 composed, not making the killer mistakes. Good win for the 12s and the Seahawks against, and they booed Russell Wilson. They just booed him. Thank you for your 10 years. You're no longer a 12. Boo.
Well, they didn't treat him good when he was there.
Yeah, well, and he won. He helped them win the only Super Bowl they have ever been to, and helped them get back. Although he threw the interception, although they shouldn't have thrown the ball. Anyway, I'm a Russell fan. I like Russ. I do. But I thought that whole 4th and 5, you pay him $200+ million, and you go take him out the game. You're going to kick. I don't know what Hackett was thinking that time. I think, Coach, another way of outthinking yourself. I think 64-yard field goal that's only been done twice in the history of the game. And 4th and 5. I'm going with this dude that I paid a boatload of money because I think he's going to take us over the hump. That's why you paid for him, right? That's why you got him, right?
Exactly.
Oh, well. Hey. No skin off my back except an L. Wait a minute. Is my boy coming up? Is it that time?
Well, we're supposed to do a lead in into the high school game of the week, but sometimes you got to step in there and
Is it that time?
And get us back on schedule. We ain't on no schedule right now.
Schedule.
No,
Schedule.
not.
No, man.
We ain't on no program. We
No, man. We in Jamaica, man.
yeah,
We relaxing, man.
It looks like that.
Okay, let's get. Okay, it's my fault. I'll take it.
Well, gentlemen, week 2 has concluded, and I can now take myself off of a self-imposed punishment for that terrible, ridiculous 8-5 record last week. But I was superb this week as I finished 9-2, and I think I will reward myself with some chunky chips ahoy. Well, I ate some last week too, but that's beside the point. So let's get to it. There were a bevy of blowouts, and it began Thursday night as Florida High went upside the head of Taylor County, hammering them 48-0. Then the unmerciful beatings continued Friday. JP2 took McClay to the woodshed, 39-0. North Florida Christian spanked Jefferson County and sent them back home, 44-0. Lincoln slapped Gadsden County around in front of their home crowd, 33-0. Fort Lauderdale beat the all-out Lion Stew out of Leon, 38-0. So, quick story. Yeah, I told you a couple weeks that my daughter is now in 9th grade at Leon, and she's on the JV cheer squad. My baby did a great job last week, and so this week, she wanted to go see her friends, go to the game, look at the varsity cheerleaders, and the game was on campus. So that makes it even better. See the atmosphere of what high school football is like in the 9th grade on your own campus. So I come home, and I say, Pumpkin, how was the game? She said, oh, it was great, Dad. I say, oh, Leon won? She said, hey, wait a minute. Now you're going a bit too far. Just a bit too far. I'll leave that right there, y'all. Now, unfortunately, this voice of the Raider stuff is not working out well because Ricketts fell to 0-3 by being drowned in their own Dead Sea by Navarre 7-6. Just some very uncharacteristic things going on with Coach Lewis' team right now. Hopefully they'll get things together. Wakulla wasted Monroe 43-13. I told your coach last week, if Charles lost, I was jumping ship, and I meant it. As they were stunned 42 times by the Yellow Jackets of Thomas County Central to 13. Bainbridge put their belt on Thomasville 31-7. Brooks took out their frustrations on Mitchell 49-13. And Mrs. Butterworth, the Fighting Syrup Makers of Cairo gave Guyby diabetes 31-12. Just one beat down after another. And I was told that even Bye ended up with a tie with FAMU DRS.
Oh, wow.
In the college ranks, Florida State had a well-deserved rest, and my FAMU Rattlers, well, a win is a win is a win. They defeated a physical Albany State Rams team 23-13. So now on to this week. It begins Thursday, as the challenge for Lincoln will be much bigger this week as they take on Bartram Trail. Now, my mind tells me to go with the visitors, but the Trojans have been playing so well that I'll stick with the home team. I'm taking Lincoln. Jefferson County will take on Baker. Both teams are 0-3, but Jefferson will be on the road, so I will take Baker. McClay will be on the road as well at Walton, and I'll take Walton. NFC will be at Taylor County, and they will remain undefeated. I'll take NFC. Gadsden County, my goodness, they have a brutal schedule, and they're going to take another beating this week, this time by Florida High. I'll take the Seminoles. Wakulla will be at Bluntstown. They'll take care of business. They will remain undefeated. I have the War Eagles. Charles, woo-wee, they travel to Niceville, and it will not be nice. I'll take Niceville. Leon will be at Mosley. No question here, I'll take Mosley. The Baby Rattlers will be back in action as they travel to Bronson. I'm going to have to take Bronson. Over in South Georgia, Thomasville will take on Tift County, and I'll take Tift. Brooks will be at Bainbridge, and this will be a big-time ball game. It should be a great battle. Coach, you sure you don't want to change your game of the week? You could treat it like just like the NFL. They have a flex game. Now, normally I take Brooks, but I have also been in that atmosphere at Bainbridge, and it will be a packed house. So I'm going to take the Bearcats in a close one, and I mean real close. Now, I've made a decision here. I'm not going to include K-Row in the weekly pick'em, but we absolutely must now acknowledge the fighting syrup makers from here on out as they will take on Pelham. I'll let Dr. Miller make this pick. And finally, in the Insights game of the week, someone is going to pick up their first win of the season as the Godby Cougars take on the Ricketts Raiders. Because Ricketts is the away team, I cannot be blamed for a loss. But I am loyal. I'll take the Raiders. On the college front, Florida State will see if they can remain hot as they travel to Louisville. And my FAMU Rattlers will be getting a much-needed rest and fine-tuning. Thank you, my friends. I'll see you next week.
INSiiGHTS official chiropractor, Dr. Ways at Tallahassee Accident and Rehab.
Were teams allergic to scoring this week?
It's sure alert. Well, I think he just picked enough. He like to hear himself say 0, 0, 0. So anybody who didn't score, they got a special shout out.
Okay. So, hey, Rick, you heard anything? Hey, have you heard anything about FAMU's potential AD down in your parts? You heard anything about that?
No, I can't say that I heard. I have down here, not down here.
Somebody has a
some kind of
sound
humming
off their speaker. If you're not talking, mute it, please.
No, I haven't heard anything, but have you guys?
Heard anything either?
What I'll do, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna make a few phone calls and see if I can find out something for next week's show. See how the search is going.
Hey, Rick the reporter. Okay, Rick the reporter.
We're getting some feedback with somebody. I don't know. I don't know which microphone that is. I don't know. Is that better? Hello? Can y'all hear
I
me?
can hear you, Coach. I can hear you.
Okay, Rick, I hear you softer.
Yeah, I took out my headphones, thinking that it could have been me, but I don't know.
Okay, you sounded okay there,
I'll just speak up there.
Okay, well, we got the game of the week, Ricketts and Godby coming up. Earl has been talking about that game and doing another game. One thing that we do is we don't always pick who the toughest opponents are going to be playing their best game. We have a loyalty factor that certain schools have been with us from the beginning, and so we stay with them. We specifically went to Bainbridge High School, and we were treated rather rudely at Bainbridge High. So from then on, if we did a game on Bainbridge, it was a game that they were doing somewhere else. We did not travel to Bainbridge to do any games. After we got rolling a little bit, they may have changed their mind, but we kind of just stayed with those programs and those schools that supported us when we first got started. Everybody doesn't understand loyalty, but that's an important thing for me. Rickus and Gabi, we try to do that game, even though we joked earlier it was going to be the Ophir Bowl. That's actually what it is. But see, each one of them wants to beat the other one. So, for you to be winless and then lose to your arch rival school, there'll be a lot. They've probably been on social media all week. Because as we said, they stay on social media. That's very important to them. So they'll stay on social media talking back and forth and saying stuff and kind of pushing the game up between the two schools.
Because someone's O has to go.
I like that. Someone's O has to go. You should have came up to help do that game on Friday.
It's not too late. It's not too late.
And you better come on up. It's 7:00 kickoff.
I'm gonna see if I can get the Glazers jet to fly me up after I get off at 5. How's that?
Well, I actually thought it was your jet that the Glazers borrowed it from you.
No, never that. No, maybe, no.
High school football has really been interesting. You have Thomasville County. They are really, really, really rolling. And they went town. I see you, Isaac, here. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen you with your little jump shot shooting self. He played like you, Rick. He get after it and then pull up and shoot a jump on people. So, hey, we appreciate you, Isaac. And we appreciate you supporting us. We really do. But Thomas County Central they rolling pretty good. And it's going to be very interesting to see how they end up doing. Thomasville High was able to win one. Still having trouble scoring points. Brooks and Bainbridge, one thing about Brooks County, Maurice Freeman is going to always play good teams. It's something about the FAMU hierarchy of coaching that they do not back off competition, because that's the way they were raised as student athletes. They played any and everybody. So as coaches, they prepare their teams as well as they can against anybody. I remember one time I made a comment to Coach Gaither that we were having trouble getting a schedule, getting teams to play us. He said, Coach, they shouldn't want to play you. They only play you if they can kick your ass. He said, so them not wanting to play you take that as respect, because they fear getting an L by their name. But you have a lot of coaches like that. The FAMU High is one. FAMU High never has an outstanding record. But they end up going to the state because they've toughened themselves against steel. But you have coaches that won't play certain teams, and one, especially in the city, is really bad in the city, that certain schools won't play South Side schools. They won't play Rickers. They won't play Gott. They barely will play Lincoln. They don't want that L on the name.
I always thought that teams in a city should play, and more so in basketball, because you see that down here a lot, especially like in Polk County, that the teams won't play each other. Coaches have beef or whatever. The schools want to play. The players want to play. They play each other outside all the time. But it doesn't happen. And I think you're taking away from what could be a great tournament or a great situation, fan support, everything, because you're invested. You want bragging rights in your city. I hate what I hear when teams won't play each other in any sport within a city. I just don't like it.
Well, it's the same thing with Florida A&M playing in the MEAC, going to the MEAC. I mean, the level of the rivalry schools were all in the SWAC. They used to say we were playing Howard. We're playing Joe Taylor's old alma mater, Hampton. I said, don't nobody care about that. I said they want Southern, Grambling, Texas Southern, Alcorn, all the schools that we grew up playing win the SWAC. I said those are the games, those are the opponents that our fan base want to see. And when we travel, all of us will travel there, and they will for sure travel to FAMU when they play us. So I was glad to see us in the SWAC. I think it's made us tougher. I like all the way around, what we have in terms of the teams, and we'll have an interview with commissioner of the SWAC real soon. We'll have another interview with him. So, everybody needs to stay tuned. And naturally, we always get the Celebration Bowl and MEAC SWAC. John Grant, we always get him on and explains to us a lot of things that is really going on too. But we need to find out what's going on in the SWAC. And we will have some of those people either here on Mick and Rick or on INSiiGHTS magazine.
Boom. Let me ask you something, Coach.
I'm getting ready to leave Miss B. She's muted herself and she's just a spectator now, so I can let her go back to the comment room.
Did Earl say that Cairo gave Soa diabetes?
Yes, sir. That's what he said. That's exactly what the young man said.
That's my partner. Earl, I miss you, man.
he was
but
trying
if y'all go 0-4, Earl, you might have to leave the voice alone, man. I'm just calling it like I see it, man. Scott Frost got fired from Nebraska. Hey, people can get fired from, it could be a bad luck charm. I don't know. I'm not saying it. I love it.
Miss B, you gonna unmute yourself, or you just gonna stand there and sit there and grin? You have to unmute it, Miss B.
Wow.
Oh, can you hear me now? I'm unmuted.
When you take the unmute off, then we can hear you.
Okay, Coach. So, what do we have going on for next week besides the game of the week?
What do we have going on for next week? We're doing the MEAC report and updates on the SWAC. We're doing that. We're putting together Rattler basketball reunion homecoming. We probably have at least 6 or 7 of the young ladies that they're gonna come and be here. Whoever comes. They don't come, that's good too. I see now Miss B, it was your connection is making the noise. But Chiquita, Rick, Cairo win, K-State win, and how about those Kansas City Chiefs? No words.
Good weekend, Ms. Miller. Dr. Miller. Nice weekend for you. Hey. Hey. Those syrup makers. Yes. I want some pancakes right now, man. I'm gonna get some chicken and waffles after I get off the air tonight.
You must be making them yourself. There's nowhere in Tampa that cook chicken and waffles, is it?
Yeah, there's a spot, but yeah, I'm gonna make it myself. I just don't know what kind of syrup I'm gonna use.
Better try that good old fashioned cane syrup.
Nah, I think I'm gonna go with Aunt Jemima.
Ms. B, he needs help. He needs help.
Anything else up? Anything else?
Dr. Miller said she glad you cleaned that up. Okay, Rose syrup maker. She said, glad. I love Dr. Miller, boy. Dr. Miller be on it here. She's on it.
None but love. None but love.
Hey, we appreciate y'all support. INSiiGHTS. We appreciate you with INSiiGHTS Roku. Continue to be with us, support us. We have a university coming on board that we will add to our stable of programming. They will have a weekly show on. I'll identify that for you later. They will have a weekly show on our Roku channel. We got 2 high schools that are supposed to join us for basketball season, so we will see. So that's kind of some of the things that we got planned, but we kind of expanded our coverage and doing some different things, so we kind of excited about it.
That's right. That's right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we do appreciate everybody's support. We need you to continue to support us. You're the ones who actually inspire us with your support. Make sure you subscribe to us at the bottom, hit notifications down there so that you will be notified every time something goes up that we do. And any of the newcomers that are with us, Isaac Heron, special shout out to you. We appreciate you being with us. It's on our Upward Bound basketball team. Man, he could play. He could play back then now. He could play. He could get it done. So we appreciate y'all being with us and continue to support us.
Your attention, please. Stay up to date with the latest from INSiiGHTS. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. 2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
INSiiGHTS is the copyright of Mac 4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac 4 Enterprises. It is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac 4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent their independent thoughts and representation.
Thank you, Ike. He still said, praying for your continued success, Coach. Be well and be safe. We appreciate you. Appreciate you. Rick, we're going to keep working with Miss B. Good night, everybody. Until next week, until we meet again. But we will be back next week.